Hi, it's Dean Hampton, the Executive Director at Love Inc. here in Bozeman, and today I have a special guest. We have Catherine Conan from the Gianforte Family Foundation, and they have been incredible partners with Love Inc. for many, many years, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. But I wanted to introduce our partners with you and just to say thank you also for all that Gianforte Family Foundation has done for us. But tell us a little bit about your role with the Gianforte Family Foundation.
Yeah, I'm the executive director of the foundation. I've been there for 11 years now, and I like to say that I have the best job ever because I get to go out and meet nonprofit partners all around Montana who are doing excellent work, and many of whom are doing kingdom work. And so to partner alongside them in what we do, both in giving away money and grants, but also we have some enrichment programs that build up nonprofit leaders. So doing all of that, it just brings you into contact with incredible people running the nonprofits, working for the nonprofits, but also people who are being served by the nonprofits. Sometimes I get to meet them too, and that's just a big blessing. That's
good. That's great. What excites you? Tell me more about what excites you with the Gianforte Family Foundation. You've been doing it for a while. There must be something that wakes you up in the morning and you go, I get to do this.
Right. We get some pretty great stories with the nonprofit partners that we meet. And again, they're the ones doing the work on the ground. We're equipping them. So we couldn't do it without them. We couldn't do it without you and Love Inc. So I think what excites me the most is waking up knowing that at some point today, I'm going to interact with some of these really excellent people and hear incredible stories about what they're doing, or figure out a way to help them do their work better through an enrichment program or through a grant, and then be able to have an impact on that somehow through my work.
And you're all throughout Montana, and as you've told us before, we're not the only Love Inc. in Montana, and we thank you so much for that, and I know that they do also. Is there something out there in Montana that a special project maybe, or something that you've looked at and gone, oh, this is really good?
There's a lot. It's hard to narrow it down. We support things like sober living homes, addiction, people coming out of addiction treatment who need a long-term recovery home. We'll support those. We support organizations that work with families who maybe are just falling upon a hard time and they need assistance, much like the work Love Inc. does, but they also need a loving relationship and they need to hear the gospel. So it's really hard to narrow it down. We also have some work that we're doing with Native ministries around the state, and that's really exciting just to see the way that different cultures interact with the gospel and the story of creation. I would say it would be pretty hard to narrow it down to one project, but for me, it's most of the things that are involving families that are hurting. I have a family of my own, so being able to resonate with a family and what it would be like for parents who are hurting to have to for some reason be separated from their kids, and how can we help heal those relationships? That could just be one example.
Yeah. How did you get involved with Love Inc.?
The foundation has been supporting Love Inc. since 2008. The foundation itself has been around for 20 years. We've given away over $118 million in that time period, and $88 million plus just to work in Montana over those 20 years. And so since 2008, we've been giving to Love Inc. And we're a huge fan of it because they're utilizing the church, and we feel like that's really how God wants his work to be done, right? Is through churches and through his people. So if there are ways that we can equip churches around the state through Love Inc.'s, potentially through some of our initiatives that we have with church outreach programs, we feel like that's one way that we can make sure that God's work is moving forward here in Montana.
What is it about Love Inc. that excites you in our partnership?
The fact that Love Inc. doesn't just give away things, but they work to establish a relationship. They work to bring the gospel into the situation, and they're really doing it because they love people and they love the Lord, and they want to see that coming to fruition. And they're serving their community. It's local people in the community through their churches serving the people in need.
Yep. So I'll give you a quick story on that. We had a call some months ago from a lady lives up in the mountains and needed some personal care. And I was at the same time meeting with a pastor up there. So we took a box of personal care items up into the mountains for the lady, and I met with the pastor, and I asked the pastor if she would like to take the personal care box to the person and establish a relationship with them so they could get her connected into a church. And without hesitation, I said, we could take it or you can take it. And she basically said, give me that. I'm going to take it. I said, perfect.
Yes.
That's exactly what we want. So they have established a relationship now, and there's that connection with a church, a connection with a pastor, and we were behind the scenes helping and giving them out. I thought, that's perfect. But I say that because we would not be able to do that without you, without the Gianforte Foundation and the different partners that we have out there. You allow us to do those things, and without your partnership, Love Inc. would not exist. And without the partnership of our partners, we would not be able to exist. And the gospel is getting out. And I want to thank you for that.
Wonderful.
Very much.
Thank you. Our pleasure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate
thanks.
you.